Building a tangible side hustle is more possible.
An African lifestyle.
Welcome to Pan-African Lifestyle, where we rep the motherland. We post content regularly and invite you to subscribe and share. If you're a pal, that's a Pan-African Lifestyler.
One of the things about living in Ghana, if you've never traveled to Ghana before, is the sun always sets at the same time. It always sets between 6 and 6:30. The sun is gone very quickly and then it's dark. So you get 12 hours of sunshine, 12 hours of darkness every single day. One of the things that I think is very important to do is to take a trip. Take a trip to the country before you make the decision that you want to make the move. Take a trip, figure out if you like it, figure out if you enjoy it, see what the potential is. And when you take the trip, stay longer than a typical 2-week holiday, because a 2-week trip usually is just holiday mode. You're going to be in vacay mode. You'll see everything from the positive. You won't be as critical of things, because when you're moving somewhere, you will look at this and A, B, and C and make your decision based on the things that you see. So I usually say stay at least a month, if you can, 2 months. So then you get a better idea of exactly what you want to do, because of the fact that you're out of vacation mode. Now you're into the mode of, okay, what kind of work can I do? Can I collaborate with people? Can I start a business? You can go and have meetings with people to find out what the potential is for starting business if you wanted to do that. Meeting with people to see what it's like for them when they move, to find out if it will work for you too. So it's very important that you do take a trip and you ask questions. You find out exactly what it is that will work for you. The other thing is, consider if you wanted to start a business, how much of a commitment you're ready to make. Because as everybody knows, many businesses fail within the first 5 years. And it's not any different if you come to Ghana. People think they can get here and then it's going to be like a land of milk and honey and everything's going to be easy and simple because now you've come to Africa and you're working with your people and everything's going to be great. But that's not the case, because you're going to have a culture shock, first of all, because you have to deal with a cultural change. You have to deal with the way that the system is different. You have to deal with how people do business differently. So, for example, one of the things that I have found challenging is, in Ghana, people always want to meet in person. But culturally, in Ghana, people want to have in-person meetings to discuss things with you. Whereas in America, Canada, UK, people can do stuff over email and get it done. In Ghana, people don't like using email so much. They always want to meet in person. So you have to allocate that into your scheduling and your planning if you're trying to plan or decide on doing business. Sometimes that is extra added time. And when it comes to doing business, it's a good idea to connect with the Ghana Investment Promotion Center, because they can answer all your questions with respect to starting a business in Ghana, with respect to all of the ins and outs and things that you should be looking out for, registration, those kinds of things. So do your investigation. If you wanted to come to Ghana and look for a job, one of the things you need to consider is finding out what the salaries are, finding out what kinds of skills are needed, asking questions in that industry. One industry that is really, really growing and I think is great to invest in is agriculture. A lot of people don't think about that. The continent of Africa is fertile with so much that agriculture is something that you should look into as a way to build business. And it's actually one of the types of industries that I know the government has different opportunities for people who are coming from abroad to invest in, if you're looking to do that.
I mean, there's this saying, there's no hurry in Africa. I just feel like people are really relaxed, going out, sitting in the sun. So those vibes have just been flowing in for me and I've been loving it. And if y'all can see, I'm like looking so happy, glowing. I cannot stress how much value for money you get for rent here in Nairobi. And this is very relative to other big cities. So for example, if you're moving from New York or you're moving in from London, the rent difference is quite huge in terms of what you get. This is by no way saying that rent is cheap in Nairobi. I'm talking in terms of the relative amount that you'd pay versus the space you get. You get so much more for your money. Moving back, I've just noticed how much the service industry has grown, and also just how efficient things are. So if you need to get an Uber, you can get it in 4 minutes and it's very quick. There's just like so many different services. You have Taxify. Uber Eats is also very efficient. They deliver to most places. So I think just living abroad, there are bills following me. And I feel like in Kenya, I kind of have it under control. So I know I'm paying for rent and I'm paying for Wi-Fi. And then there's almost a standard electricity bill that I get every month that I pay for. And there's also water as well. So water though is a bit tricky depending on where you are, but that's like one thing where you need to make sure the area you move in has an adequate supply of water, and that hasn't been an issue so far. Also, there are not that many blackouts, guys, just to tell these two people who are always like, oh, there's so many blackouts in Africa. I could count the number of blackouts we've had since I came back. So it's really good in terms of the services, and the bills are very reasonable. Here in Nairobi, we have there's a huge supply of labor. So you can actually have a soft life in a manner that you actually get someone to clean your house. I know people who have chefs and they're cooking for them. So, you're creating employment, but at the same time, living a really soft life. Not because you have too much money, but because you can actually afford it. There is a huge supply of labor and people will do a great job. Building a tangible side hustle is more possible here. Credit is so expensive in Kenya. And when I say credit is so expensive, I don't mean by 1 or 2% more. It's really, really expensive. You can never get over the fact that mortgage rates are 13% here, and that is for people who have a good credit. This could go to as crazy as 20%. So what that means is that this is a really strong cash economy, and if you really want to do something, you have to have the cash. And people are paying like 200 grand for flats. People are paying like 150 to 200 grand for flats, cash. And my thing is, where do you get that kind of cash to invest? So it's a very cash oriented culture, and for that reason it's just really hard to own a home unless you buy land in the rural and build. But if you want to buy a house, you really have to be comfortable with that credit and how expensive it is to achieve. Travel within Africa is insanely expensive. Like, I'm talking $600 to go from Nairobi to Addis. That's a 2-hour flight. And my flight to from Nairobi to New York would be $800. So it's just really painful that for a 2-hour flight, you would pay $600 or more. I don't even know about West Africa. I was trying to go to Kigali again just a few months back, and the tickets are $500. As in, why is it so expensive? Now, local travel within Kenya is quite affordable. So going to Mombasa would cost you like $3,000 if you're running for the deals. Going to Kisumu as well could be $3,500 or $4,000, which is like $30 to $40 to move from one big city to the other. But any travel outside of Kenya, like just interconnecting within Africa, is a total mess. It's impossible. It's really painful. I'm not about to pay $600 to go from Nairobi to Addis. 2 hours. That's really painful. You need a lot of patience to survive. Like, patience is so key when dealing with people in public offices or just dealing with other service providers. But ultimately, it's still home. It's great. I've been loving it so far. I know there's definitely lots of adjustments, but all in all, I don't regret my move. It's been a really good time since I moved back.
Thanks for tuning into Pan African Lifestyle. Share your thoughts in the comments section and follow us on TikTok and Instagram at Pan African Lifestyle to be inspired. For awesome PAL merch, check out panafricanlifestyle.com/shop. Keep repping the motherland.
Pan African lifestyle.